But we're joined right now by Dr. Timothy Quinn, the medical director of Quinn Healthcare in Mississippi. Good morning to you, Dr. Quinn. Good to see you again, as always. Now, according to the CDC, the initial COVID-19 vaccines have been estimated to be as much as 97% effective, and that's effective at preventing serious illness as well as preventing hospitalizations. But do most Americans also need a booster shot too?
Well, what was evaluated by the CDC and when the FDA was the fact that there are a lot of individuals that have been vaccinated, and the vaccines are indeed still effective. They're effective at preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and or deaths. But what really looked at was the fact that over time, and they studied the raw data, the scientific evidence, the research, our immune system is not as strong as it was when we were first evaluated as far as getting vaccinated and fighting against coronavirus. Our antibodies, our immune response was down over time. But also this new Delta variant that arose with our recent surge was more infectious, leaving us more vulnerable. So this decision was based on the fact that the benefits outweighed the risk. And at the end of the day, the decision was derived due to the fact that we want to protect as many people as possible.
Well, we want to protect as many people as possible. Obviously, the healthcare industry is adamant about getting vaccines, but there are a lot of healthcare professionals who have actually opted to not receive the vaccine. It's caused a lot of debate. And in fact, it's been a deal breaker for some of them, at risk of losing their jobs because of it. Meanwhile, we're also actually seeing that more and more healthcare workers who contracted COVID were sickened or even died as a result over the past year and a half. When that news comes out, how does that make you feel, or what is your first response as a doctor?
Well, I mean, my first response is the reality. It's been a very difficult time during this pandemic for all healthcare workers, all Americans, and all humans in the world. I mean, everybody has been affected. I mean, there have been times when my wife and I, we actually had to answer the phone and take out the trash at the end of clinic because we had a shortage of employees due to coronavirus. People out, family members sick, and some even lost their lives. But what we have to do is understand that we have to push these vaccinations. And I know that what you were looking at was a report from the World Health Organization. And in this report, they also talked about countries where vaccines are not as available. So in this report, it was echoed that we really need to look at these countries and work harder to try to get vaccines to these countries that have a lower socioeconomic status or a decreased ability to obtain vaccines, because at the end of the day, if we don't vaccinate everyone as much as possible, there's a higher possibility we'll get more variants, and some of these variants can be even more deadly.
Well, I did talk to a doctor yesterday, and she was saying that this new Delta strain, it was a comfort to me, at least. I'm sure a lot of our viewers, it's not as serious as previous Delta strains. Has that been your reporting as well?
Well, you're referring to the Delta variant in the UK right now. Everybody is looking at and watching very closely. But at the same time, as time goes on, and we have to look at right now, people are not wearing masks as much. They're not social distancing as much. And vaccination rates are going down, which leaves us more vulnerable to the possibility of another variant just emerging. And who knows the properties of this variant to come. That's why it's so important we have to keep encouraging as many people to get vaccinated. And also note with these boosters, it's being shown that they help to decrease breakthrough infections. And these breakthrough infections can result in a new variant. So these are things that we really need to consider, and just hopefully everyone will get that booster that is so needed.
All right, Dr. Quinn, as always, we appreciate your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, not only are we watching for major West Coast weather this weekend, but there are some severe thunderstorms, including more threats of tornadoes, and that will likely hit parts of the heartland by Sunday. Gerard Jabali here for more weather.
Oh, we've got plenty of it going around, Adrian, just like news today. So we're going to talk about now what's happening across the central